Fred Ricciani here for the SportsCourier.com at Daddis Fight Camp in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for the Bellator Fighting Championship tryouts with Mr. Brad Daddis. How you doing, sir?
Good, great. It's a pleasure. How you doing, Fred?
I'm doing great. And what brings you here today, the tryout?
Well, the first thing that brings me here today is the fact that I own the building for it. So that's one thing. No, I'm just kidding. I love these Bellator tryouts. You'd be amazed. Like, you know, Bjorn will tell you, some of the better guys in Bellator have gotten picked through these tryouts. It's amazing. You'll see out of the woodworks, somebody will come from western Pennsylvania who nobody had ever heard about before because they weren't getting a lot of media or press, and they just kill it. Next thing you know, they're in Bellator and doing awesome. So I enjoy just watching. You know, we have some of our own guys involved in the tryouts. We have some of our own guys here that are veterans that compete in Bellator right now, like Popo, who's over there. He's in the tournament, this upcoming tournament for his weight. It's just a lot of fun to watch these guys get after it and see who gets picked at the end of the day.
Of course, and MMA is still a developing sport, even though it's grown so much. How did you get into mixed martial arts in the first place?
I got into it because I grew up with traditional martial arts. Then I saw the first UFC. I obviously was like, that's the real stuff right there. So I started to learn it, and we opened up our first school in the year 2000. Man, I had like 20 students because nobody knew about the sport. You know what I mean? Now we have to, we're going to most likely open up another location just 2 blocks away from here because we're outgrown this location. So it's a good thing. So the popularity of the sport from 2000 to now, it's like just insane to see what's happened.
And what have you seen with the development of Bellator Fighting Championships? Obviously, they started ESPN Deportes, then Fox Sports Net, now MTV2, soon to be Spike. I feel like especially when you go to the shows live, like on the prelims, a lot of times they don't just sign guys that have a little bit of hype, a little bit of buzz. They use a lot of local talent. You know, some guys are kind of like unsigned hype in a sense, that they're just under the radar. What do you think about their talent development? Because they seem to find talent in a lot of places like this one right here.
It's Sam Kaplan all the way. He is not... He goes and finds the best talent out there. He doesn't just wait for them to come to him, which is what maybe a UFC, can do or will do. He manages. It doesn't matter anywhere in the world either. You know, Carl Massou from France and all these guys. He's just actively searching. He works 24/7. You have to give all the credit in the world to him for what he's done. He can find those diamonds in the rough, put them in the right place, and next thing you know, they can become Bellator champions.
Or even find some diamonds. I mean, he signed Marlon Sandro. I mean, that guy was just...
Yeah, well, that's true, too. So he finds the diamonds in the roughs, and he finds the diamonds also.
And what do you prefer more, being MMA training guys, also fighting in the past? I mean, do you prefer guys to maybe take like sort of a route like the Ultimate Fighter, where you have a few fights under their belt and then try out there and get some national exposure, even if they may not necessarily be ready for that big stage, or to try out, develop slowly, and then eventually go to the big dance, whether it's BFC or UFC?
You know, that's a great question, Fred, and a lot of times it depends on the individual. As a coach, I can tell you right now, sometimes I feel like I wear a lot of hats, like I'm a therapist to each one of the fighters. And so for some, they're ready to jump right in, and others need a little bit more. This format might be better for some others. So it really all depends. Both are great venues, depending on the personality and the person.
And I'll get you on this. Obviously, we're at your place, doing your thing. Give us any info on some upcoming prospects that you've been training?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I was just talking about Carl, who's in the 170-pound tournament. He's going to be facing War Machine, I believe, which is going to be awesome. I hope I didn't just spill the beans. I hope that was already announced. Alejandro Popa Bozeja is here. He's in the 145-pound tournament. And then we got a few guys just that are fighting on the undercards that I'm looking around and I can see right now. Guys like Breland Van Aertstalen, who are doing great, and they're slowly developing into. We'll be going to that next level pretty soon.
And where can fans find more about Daddis online?
Check us out, DaddisMMA.com. If anybody wants some free MMA tips, we have a website called MixedMartialArtsTips.com. Check it out. We just give away a lot of free stuff. It's very cool.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time, and look forward to seeing your prospects develop.